What's up, you guys? And welcome back to my channel. As you guys can see, if you watch the anniversary video, which will probably come out before this one, I am wearing one of the shirts that Isaiah got me for our anniversary, and I'm matching pants. Sorry, my hand. Matching pants. If you hear something, it's my heater, and I think they're doing construction outside. I wish they stopped hammering. They've been hammering for the last 2 days. But anyway, it's fine. It's fine. So, uh, the announcement that I had to make. It's early, so forgive me. But the announcement I was gonna make, I'm gonna make it right now. So in March, there was situations that happened that I'm not gonna discuss on the internet. With my mom and my stepdad. And there's also a situation that happened between me and my mom last May. So not this May that just passed, but the May before that. So yeah. Because of those situations, but also just because we needed our own place anyway. And I've talked to you guys on some of my other YouTube videos about Isaiah and I wanting to get an apartment eventually and all that kind of stuff. Had things went better in 2020, probably would have maybe done it then. I talked to my mom about it a couple times. We talked about it right before COVID became an official thing. And everything got shut down and everything, so... But that's something me and him have always talked about. If we were going to be together long term, then that's something we wanted to do. And it's not like we haven't tried, staying together before. Just to see if we'd be, compatible as far as living with each other. And because we're so much alike, I feel like that's what makes us work. He's not messy. We both like stuff very neat because both of our parents have their issues with depression and things, and clutter, and just generally leaving a mess. So we like to keep stuff very clean because of that. And I don't know, it's just we're a lot alike. He doesn't bother me. I don't really bother him, except when we do bother each other. But not negative bother each other. I mean it more as a funny thing. Because we love to cook each other, and toss to each other occasionally. Yeah, stuff like that. And our love language is talking crap to each other, so it's us. So, but yeah, so yeah, we have fun together. I think this would be a great thing. We've had the worst time trying to find apartments, I'm gonna tell you about that right now. Okay, so in March, my mom said basically I want you guys to move out, and we're gonna go start looking at places. We started looking at places on St. Patrick's Day actually, earlier this year. So we've been looking for places for now 6 months. Actually, this month makes it a little over 6 months. And finally found a place, but I'm going to break down how we got there. So, here's how we got there. The very first place we looked at, we loved it. It was a gigantic living room. We had it was a 1-bedroom, but we loved it. Nice big bedroom. cute kitchen. We had a dishwasher and stuff. We had in-unit laundry, so laundry, washer, and dryer were in our closet in our bedroom, which is kind of cool. Still have closet space, but I mean, it's plenty of space in the living room if we needed to put some extra stuff there, things like that. Really nice. But there's issues with the application thing. So they wouldn't even allow us to apply to have the apartment because they said somebody else was looking at it and they didn't know if that person or if those people, I think it was a couple, were going to take it or not. So, and they never got back to us. So we ended up not being able to get that one. Then proceeded to have issues because of our age, because Isaiah and I are built different as far as being 26 and almost 27 years old. So we're not your typical, and you guys have followed me for the last couple of years know that I am not a typical 20-something-year-old. Like, my first thing when I turned 21 was not, oh, well, I can get a drink. No, I don't like alcohol. I have my own personal reasons for why I don't do that, which I may talk about later, but I'm not talking about it right now. I have my own personal reasons for not wanting to do it. Drugs I've always said no to because situations in my family. And not to mention, I have asthma. I mean, I know people with asthma that still smoke, but I get so sick around the smell of cigarette smoke. Like, I had the worst allergic reaction to it. And, like, imagine if I was, with that bad of an allergic reaction, if I was the one smoking, I would be dead. Literally. Quite literally. So, because I care about my health, I don't do that. But also just because it's just not something I've ever wanted to do. Ever. Like, it's not my thing. I don't go out clubbing, I go to parties. I've never been that type of person anyway. Even growing up, I've always said, that's not my thing. People that do that, more power to you, but that's not something that I enjoy or would ever enjoy. And it's not my idea of fun, most importantly. My idea of fun, which most people always say is boring, is just sitting at home with a book, watching cartoons, going out with my friends, and when we go out and, go to different restaurants because we all love food and stuff like that. Like, we're not the type of people that go out and, like, go drinking every night. No. My friends are built different, too. So, that's not our idea of fun. And my friends that I have that do go out occasionally and, get wasted or whatever, like my friend Brittany, I don't see that. I don't need to see it. So, yeah. If my friends do those things, like drinking and smoking and stuff, I don't see it. I don't need to see it. I don't want to see it. Yeah. That's their business. That's not what we all do when we all go out together. So, yeah. Yeah. So, but anyway, I say that to say, Isaiah and I are built different, and because we're not like the other kids, like even though we're not like the other, kids our age, we still get put in the same category. That all 20-something-year-olds are like wild and throwing wild parties every night, and people running out of their house or their apartment and things like that, or they just don't want to pay the rent or any of the bills on time. Like, it's not us, but it sucks that they just lump everybody in the same category. Like, there's not people that are different from that. My whole life, I've been treated like I was different, but then it's like, the older I get, the more you just kind of lumped into the same category, I feel like, at times. And this was a big thing because it stopped us from being able to get certain apartments, or people didn't want to rent to us because they were like, I don't trust the fact that you're saying, like, you're not going to do that because everybody else has done that and people have messed up our places and blah, blah. So, we had issues with, like, them want to rent credit a million times, and we actually filled out applications for one apartment that we really liked, and that was back in, maybe that was May, I want to say, May or April or something like that, but that's other apartment we applied for it, or applied to it, and they're like, yeah, we need to run credit again, we need an extra application fee, and blah, 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 and I'm just like, no. So, those of you guys looking for apartments, red flag. If they run your credit and ask you for an application, and then you do an application, and then they ask you for extra to do it again, red flag, don't do that. Not do that. And then, if you're looking online at places, and they ask you, like, for, you have to have this number for credit, and you have to have a background check, you have to have all this crazy stuff, or you can't wear shoes in your apartment, or wear shoes in the lobby of your apartment. Like, that's ridiculous. A couple months ago, when we were still looking for places, my mom and I called a place, and the lady goes, yeah, like, I just spent X amount of money trying to fix this place up because one of the tenants I had just really ruined it, and they said they didn't even wear shoes inside the building, so I guess if I was walking in and out of the building, I had to put booties on. Who wants to keep changing that when they go in and out? And then she said that the rent was, I think, $2,400 because they had to fix it up. Why should I have to pay you for doing something you're supposed to do? Like, we looked for 2 bedrooms because we wanted a room for our office stuff and then one room for us to sleep in. And yeah, so that place was a 2-bedroom, but they wanted that much for it. We found 2 bedrooms for like $1,200. So, and then one of them was less. But I'll tell you about that one in a second. But yeah, so if you go online, look at stuff, and you read whatever they're asking you for, and they ask for too much, like, they have a long ass list of, like, hey, you need all this stuff, or this needs to be like this in order for you to get this place. Don't do it. Nobody should be asking you for 50 million things just to move into a place. Like, it's ridiculous. Also, it's always very important to check out the area, because even if it looks okay in pictures or whatever, it could not be okay, too. So, my mom always taught me to check at night to make sure that, the neighborhood seems good at night. Like, there's nobody on the corner, nobody loitering in front of your apartment or your house, those kind of things. There's weirdos and such everywhere, but it's always nice to know what you're getting yourself into, because if you're going to be living in an area and you're probably going to be there for a while, you don't want people loitering and, game banging and all that kind of stuff outside your apartment or your house, So, okay, I'm going to tell you guys about what happened with one of the other apartments that we really set on, because that's an interesting story. Alright, so, in August, we looked at this one place, in one of the cities where I am. I don't like saying where I live, if you guys can't tell. But we found this place. It was 2 bedrooms, big bedrooms, nice closets. giant living room, big beautiful kitchen, cabinets that open on either side. So if Isaiah and I were on either side, we could like really talk to each other through the cabinets. It was really cute. Nice beautiful bathroom. It was pink. You guys know I love my pink. But yeah, so it was really nice. We really liked it. It was a really, really quiet area. We went there at night. There was no loitering outside, no anything. And it was like 5 minutes away from the police station, so if anything happened, they were right there. So, but yeah, really nice area. I really wanted a nice quieter area because the area I'm in right now, it's just loud. Neighbors like to party all the time, except when it starts to get cold. Neighbors like to party all the time, and there's a lot of noise. There's always girls walking around at night or during the day. There's 3-year-olds walking around by themselves. Kids all on the street. That kind of thing. I can't stand that. And I've lived in not great neighborhoods my whole life. This neighborhood is the most okay, not safe neighborhood I've ever lived in, but you still have the hood. So, yeah. But anyways, got this. We like the place. We're about to normally you move in. If no one wants you right away, you move in right away. Problem with this place was they needed to fix a bunch of stuff because the people that lived there before us were the landlord's grandson and his, wife and kids, or girlfriend and kids. I don't know if they're married. And they totaled the place. There was like the closet door in the master bedroom looked like it had been kicked in from the inside out. It was like sticking out like this, and blinds were all messed up. There was holes in the wall, holes in the door. There's water damage from the lady upstairs. It was disgusting. They needed to fix the bathtub in the bathroom. The pipes were messed up. Like, there was just a lot that needed to be done. I also needed to clean the carpets. So the claim that they came out to do fixing the walls and all that kind of stuff didn't do any of that. And it looked like when we went back the next time, it looked like they made it worse, or they just didn't do some other stuff. And then they tried to paint, but they just, like, you can tell when people just, like, stick paint on there, and, like, it's just a patch. I hate patchy paint. If you're gonna do it like you mean it, not just some BS, you know what I mean? So, yeah, but, and then they took forever to clean our carpets. I think that's one of the last things we're working on. They never told us a day. They just said soon, and then they came out and said, like, oh, we're going to be doing that after we do every other apartment in the building. Seriously? You could have mentioned that to us. Like, that was so freaking frustrating. We waited like 2 extra months to move in because of that. So, yeah, and when we went back the last time to go check everything before we made it official, it was just a hot mess. Like they hadn't really done anything. Like I said, the holes were still there. Some stuff was worse. They messed up the door. I mean, and then the one thing that I thought was the most ridiculous was the fact that they broke a knob off the stove and then just put some white tape over it. Like, oh, they won't notice. Now, I didn't notice, but Isaiah did. He was just like, there's a knob missing. And then the knob that they even had this one knob on there that's like 3 times the size of the other 2 knobs. I'm just like, what ghetto crap is that? It was so irritating. And like, when we came back and we saw that stuff was just, ugh, and then they wanted to come back out, but we were just like, no, we waited long enough. Like, seeing the place again, I was like, I don't even want to stay here anymore. Like, they're also nasty. They just left in the middle of the night and left their crap there because they just wanted to skip on the rent. And, And then they were supposed to get all the stuff out, all of their crap out of it. They got most of it out, but they still had stuff in the closet. I think stuff was still in the bathroom. I don't know. It was just... And then the next day, that was a Thursday, the next day, we had a call from my mom's friend. My mom's friend has been helping us. She's been great. She's been amazing. And we love her and appreciate her so much. And she called us and told us some BS about that apartment. So basically, she works, the management company that she works for is her cousin's company. And, yeah, the company that she works for is her cousin's company. And, her cousin really didn't want to, she ended up being, my mom's friend ended up being property manager for this particular place. So if anything went wrong, we were gonna, be able to contact her directly and tell her, hey, this isn't right, blah, blah, blah. So, she calls and said that her cousin was mad at me and Isaiah because we didn't sign the lease. And I looked at my mom and I was just like, she called crying, first of all, sobbing her eyes out. I felt so bad for her. And I kind of had a feeling that she was crying because of something related to the apartment or whatever. So she got on the phone with my mom. I didn't hear the conversation, but my mom got off the phone with her after she got her to calm down. And my mom, told me what was going on. She said, the cousin, like I said, was mad at us because we didn't sign the lease. After my mom and I went, but stuff wasn't done. And then some stuff was worse. So, why would we want to take a place that we're just going to have to keep fixing up? And I was like, exactly. So, she's mad at her because we didn't sign the lease. She took pictures in there of all the stuff that was wrong. And she was just like, well, they wanted the place, they should have still just took it, because, I don't even remember what she said, but, that was irritating, first of all. Second of all, she wanted to remove her as property manager and put somebody else in there that wasn't going to do anything. And my mom's friend is the best, manager she had. So she was just going to pretty much fire her after the whole situation. I was just like, first of all, that's a little extreme. Second of all, you weren't doing your job. She was the one that sent the people out there that were supposed to fix stuff for us, and they didn't do anything. And the other neighbors that we found out later complained that they had the same issues we had, wire not working or leaking or stuff, just them calling people to come out, and the people that were supposed to come out for this particular building just didn't come out, or they would come out and do a crap job. It was ridiculous. And I felt bad that she was her cousin was screaming and yelling at her because we didn't sign a lease, and I don't know. It was ridiculous. It wasn't her fault. She didn't do anything but do what she was supposed to do. Her job description does not entail fixing things in the apartment. It's showing apartments, trying to get people into their, proper place. So it was irritating. I still feel so bad for her, and she still keeps apologizing, and she doesn't have to. It's not her fault. It's not her fault at all. She's been amazing, and Isaiah and I appreciate her so much. We told her thank you. We told her when we got this place, thank you for all your help. We so appreciate you. Oh my goodness. And the fact that we kind of found out we have to be looking again. Well, I told Isaiah, I knew he was gonna snap about what happened with the apartment. He was yelling in my ear, not yelling at me, but yelling about the situation. I mean, we both were. We had a long conversation about that. It was ridiculous. Oh my god. So that happened. That happened. And now I'm gonna tell you guys about a new place that we found.